There he is. Oh, big one. Big one. Speed cranking. The old dime. This is a big one. Oh, there's another big one. Look at that other big one with him. He's trying to get it. I wonder if we can double. Oh, I thought I had him. He's got it so good. Look at that other one. He's still down there trying to take it. Can we double up? Let's see. He's still right on him. If I lose him, that's a 5-pounder. Look at that other one. Oh, I think I just scared him. Oh no, he's still there. He's still down there. Oh, he's still with them. Look at that tankosaurus. Let's get him. We'll see if we can catch the other one. We're not gonna. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh. That one is definitely pushing 5 on the dime. On the dime. Ghost Morning Dawn. Dime 6, guys. I'm telling you, this is an animal of a crank. Catching tanks like that. Look at that one. That one is definitely close to 5. The other one with it was the exact same size. Oh. Bruiser. All right. Well, that was pretty cool. We couldn't double. That bait was so far down that fish's mouth. The thing here is this is speed cranking, guys. September is the key for speed cranking smallmouth. Basically, you're just retrieving it fast, but the key here is you're retrieving a bait that stays about 4 feet off the bottom. I'm in about, I'm gonna say 8 foot, right around 8 foot of water, 8 to 10 foot varying. And you're gonna speed crank it down there. And you're basically gonna keep this thing moving, but you don't wanna make bottom contact. You want the fish to come up after it and chase it, and they have to commit to it. Oh, I just had another bite. They got to commit to it or they don't hit it. And if you can get them to commit to it, you're golden. And one of the best ways to get them this time of year, like early fall, is to speed crank them. I don't know why. It just dominates. This is something I learned on St. Clair a few years back. And I've applied it, a few years being like probably 15 years at this point. It was the first time I ever fished St. Clair. It was in September. And man, I'm out there doing the drop shot thing, and there's a bunch of people around me throwing cranks, just whacking them. Finally, I picked it up and it was like, what is going on here? I'm not hitting the bottom, I'm not hitting anything. Why is this working? And it just comes down to the fact that you gotta create a reaction strike. And this time of year, they're chasing a lot of bait. And you can get a bait that runs just like the right depth, that's golden. But you need a really true running bait that runs good at high speeds. I mean, I'm throwing in, this is an 8.0 to 1, so I'm moving this bait. And you saw what just happened. I mean, you trigger really big fish into biting. It's one of my favorite ways to fish. It's definitely a late summer, early fall bite. We're up on a flat, just kind of burning it down that edge and triggering bites like that. I mean, it's a no-brainer every year. It's just like, it's clockwork, and it's one of those things that you better be holding on because they're going to rip it out of your hand. The other thing is you want to make sure you've got a good rod too. So I'm throwing, this is a CB 905, so it's a 7.5 foot blended rod. So when they hit it, I have a lot of bend in the lower section of the rod, which really helps absorb not only the fight, but allows them to get the bait when I'm moving it fast. Because if you're throwing it on a too fast of a rod, they're gonna come up and hit it, but they're not gonna get it like that fish did, where it was in their mouth. but it's a really fun technique. It is a little bit of work, but it triggers really good bites like that one. Oh God, right by the boat. That's why you always stop it right at the boat. How awesome was that? He T-boned it too. Another good one. That was awesome. Not a giant. We're just gonna lift you in here, Mr. 2.5 pounder. God, that was awesome. You gotta stop a crank at the side of the boat. You know, 15 feet from the boat or so, you stop it, and if there's a trailing fish like that, they will crack it. Maybe not every time, but you're sure gonna give yourself a shot. So I mean, on these casts, this is what I'm doing. I'm throwing it out, cranking it hard, stop, crank hard, stop, give it a couple of snaps, you know, really short pauses. But you want to get it down there and just kind of keep it down at that depth. You know, I'm in 9.5, maybe 10 foot of water, getting this thing down 6-7 feet. You're trying to get those fish to see it go over their head and commit to it. And they love it. They love it. They cannot resist it. It's a really fun way to fish. But on your cast, you gotta make sure, clip the weed. You got to make sure that when you get it to about 10-15 feet from the boat, you stop it, because just like that, that fish just came up out of nowhere and ate it. Oh, it's so much fun. It's a fun bite. It's work, but it's a fun bite. Oh. God, you almost ripped it right out of my hand. Another nice one. Chunky. They're starting to get fat for the fall. Come here. Had it real good. There's definitely a couple of key things with speed cranking. Look at that chunky little fish, probably 2.5, 16-inch fish. You need a crankbait that one can cast a mile, and this is the Dimes series is like the furthest casting crankbait I've ever used. So this little Dime 6 I can cast extremely far. I don't know how far, but extremely far. So that's a huge thing, because you're fishing these big flats covering a ton of water. So that's one key. The next key is you need one that can run true the entire retrieve, meaning when you're burning it, a lot of crankbaits will actually turn over on their side, and that's not what you want. You want a crankbait that'll run true, meaning it actually is running right. When you stop it, it might dart and left, but it picks right back up on the correct retrieve, and therefore just keeps going. If you got one that blows out, you're going to get a pile of line twist, and you're just not, it's not going to function. The bait's actually going to be higher up in the water column than what you'd like. So you just need one that you can retrieve at a fast speed, doesn't blow out, casts a 1/4 mile. And this Dime series, I mean, this is one of the hotter baits going on Lake St. Clair right now. And if you know anything about Lake St. Clair in the fall or early fall, August, September, crankbaits are definitely one of the go-to baits. And I've got several buddies over there who are destroying them on the Dime series. They're throwing more of the Dime 10 because they're fishing like 14. So they're getting their bait to run down into that 10-foot range. But, you know, it's really just about keeping your bait up off the bottom, which is so unusual for crankbaits. Like with crankbaits, we don't we always feel like we have to make contact. Well, by speed retrieving it, where you're burning it, you might twitch the rod, give it a good actual like hook set. You're creating all of that deflection type motion that you'd have if you were fishing it on the bottom. So you don't need to hit the bottom. And there's nothing to hit. You might have some grass down there, but there's really nothing to hit anyway. So you're really just trying to burn it, give those fish something to look at, and they have to commit. They either come up and they get it, or they don't. And a lot of times if they do get it once or hit it once and you miss them, they'll hit it again on that same retrieve. Or if you throw it back out because you fired them up, and that just gets them agitated. It's one of the cool things about it. It is definitely an effective technique, but again, it does take a little bit of work, but man, it fires them up, guys. So it's not just as easy as finding a flat either. I want to point out, you want to find the flats that have a mixture of, you know, some hard bottom, either really hard packed sand or gravel or rock. You know, you want to find something that's kind of mixed. Ideally, this time of year, you're generally looking for something that's got a little bit of grass mixed in. You don't want a giant carpet. You just want, you know, maybe some clumps, maybe some short like sandgrass type stuff. Just something that the fish can hold on and use as an ambush location. Maybe you tick the top of it every once in a while, but just something to give them a little cover. But generally speaking, you're looking for the areas that, you know, they'll use to spawn. A lot of times it's just the bigger flats that have a little bit of rock composition generally that the fish will get up and feed on. You know, you don't want to just go find a big grass flat. That's probably not going to be what your deal is. But you know, if you can find some ones that have holes in them that are patchy, like something to give the fish the ability to just ambush, sit behind, wait for that dime to come by, and they'll go get it if you can put it in front of them. There he is. Oh, it's coming up. Oh, another nice one. I love this. Look at that one. Come here. Don't do it. Come here. Oh, you're getting so thick. Another big one. He's blind in one eye too. If you're not speed cranking, I think you need to give it a try. Get yourself some of these dime 6s. This is the Ghost Morning Dawn. Get yourself some of the 10s. Get out, and it works just not on smallmouth. It works on largemouth too. This is one of the big things guys are doing on ledges. Now they are making more contact there, but it's a matter of creating that reaction strike. And this little guy right here, the old Dime 6 by Berkeley, is an absolute maniac. It just came out. I was fortunate to have them since like March. I caught a pile of fish on it all year long. You probably saw me using it in videos. A lot of people asked what that crankbait was in the Clark's Hill video, where I ended up taking, I don't know, 18th or something like that. This is one of the baits that helped me. I think it just came out maybe in August. I'm guessing maybe at ICAST. I don't know, not long ago at all. It's only been out a little bit. It's been pretty quiet on the radar, but this is one that I do think you need to have in your tackle box for both largemouth and smallmouth. But right now it's an absolute killer on the speed cranking, which is one of my favorite things to do, guys. Is one of my favorite ways to catch them. So anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, subscribe to the video, and or subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed today's video, stay tuned. We'll have another one coming out tomorrow.